Hey everybody, welcome back to What the F Are We Eating Now? Tonight we're making probably the best cinnamon roll I've ever had since Cinnabon. So we're gonna make that happen. All right, so we have warm milk. It's gotta be between 105 and 115, and we look at we're 107. So to that we're gonna add 2¼ teaspoon of active dry yeast. 1, 2¼ We're going to leave that sit for about 5 minutes and let it get nice and frothy. While the yeast is doing its thing, it's got to set for about 5 minutes. To our stand mixer, I'm gonna add a 1/3 cup of I want to call it sugar. It's butter, and a 1/2 cup of sugar, granulated sugar. We're gonna run this on low, and I'm just gonna whisk it together. So let me put this on low. Let it do its thing. And to that we'll add 2 eggs, one at a time. 1, and 2. Right, and to the sugar, eggs, and butter, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. Then I will measure out 4 cups of all-purpose flour. All right, so now let me turn this off. Let me raise this up. I want to switch this out for my dough hook because I'm going to be adding flour. I have to add 4 cups of flour, but I'm going to do it in increments. Where's my hook? Gotcha. Let me put my hook on. Let's go ahead and get this set back down. And let's run it at low speed. And I'm going to start adding my flour in. A little bit at a time. Let me get my spatula. Let's clean this off. And I want to make sure I get the sides pushed down. So I'm going to take the sides down. I'm going to use a spatula and scrape the sides. And I'm going to turn it up a little bit, just so it can start pulling that dough, start forming it. The goal is to get all the flour incorporated. Now I'm going to add some more flour. And continue with scraping the sides down so it all pulls off the sides. Let's add the rest. Now that our flour is all in, I can go ahead and add my yeast and milk mixture. And again, I'll go with pulling the dough down the sides, or the flour, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Turn it down a little bit to make my table walk away. Now, if you can look in here, you can see how the dough is pulling away from the side of the bowl. It's all collecting. Let it go for a little bit longer, and then we'll stop it and we'll pull the dough out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. And I'm gonna lift this up, and I gotta get the dough off of the hook. And in order to do that, I'm gonna put a little bit of cooking spray on my hands so the dough doesn't stick to my hands. Get it all off of here, and what we're gonna do is we are going to place it in this bowl here that I will spray with some Pam, because the dough is going to have to go into that bowl and rise. So let me pull this off. Here we go. Now if you look, you can see the dough is sticky, but it's movable. I don't know. It's not all over the place. So let me just grab it all out of here. I want to get all my dough. Probably should have had more Pam on my fingers. Anyway, we're going to take it. We're just going to drop it in the bowl. Okay, I'm trying to add all the stuff that's on my hands. Waste not, want not. Let me get rid of this. And let me wipe off my hands. So we're just going to cover this. And I'm going to go put it on the stove over here to sit off in the distance here for about an hour so it can double in size. All right, guys. This has got about 3 or 4 minutes left for its hour of rising. In the meantime, we're going to make our filling, which is 1 cup of packed brown sugar and, well, lots of cinnamon. So let me see if I can put this inside here. Yes, I can. So I'm just gonna fill it up and pack it in. All right, let me set this off to the side. Let me brush off my hands. All right, so 1 cup of packed brown sugar. I am flicking this stuff everywhere. Sorry, guys. Let me move this out of the way. We like cinnamon, so to this I will add 1, 2, let's go with 3 tablespoons of cinnamon. Let me get my little whisk. And we're just gonna mix it in. Until it's nice and mixed. Obviously, mix it in till it's nice and mixed. Yes. It smells so darn good. Go ahead and do this. Take a look. I actually want more cinnamon, so I'm going to add another tablespoon in here. Since cinnamon is the star of the show, really, want to make sure that we get a lot of it in there. So I melted about 1/4 cup of butter, and I'm going to put that right in here with this. A lot of people use the dry style of brown sugar and cinnamon. I like to mix it wet and spread it on instead of just, dusting it or whatever. All right, so we're stirring this in as much as we can. And as you can see, it's very spreadable. I'm sorry, I'll take it, hold it up there. All right, so we're gonna set this aside. So I'm gonna put it over here. And we're gonna take a look at our dough, which has definitely doubled in size. We need to put it on this countertop here, so I'm gonna need some flour first. I'm gonna dust the counter down here with some flour. I'm gonna leave it here because we might need more. And you see it came out pretty easy. And we're just gonna fold it and knead it a little bit. Not too much, but I want to try to get it into like a rectangle. All right, let me grab my rolling pin. It's in here. Got it. So I'm gonna put some flour on that. Flip it over here. I'm going to try to keep it in a square, rectangle-ish shape. Turn this sideways. Need to roll it out more thinner. That is pretty close. Get the ends out just a little further. It worked. Okay, so I'm going to try to keep the square shape if I can, and that's about as close as we're going to get. Let me set this down here. Then we're going to fill this whole area with our mixture. So let me get a spatula. Okay, and we're just gonna fill it up. Okay, now keep in mind I mixed mine with butter and the brown sugar and cinnamon. How do you guys do yours? Do you do the dry, or do you butter your dough first? I'm curious. Do you add nuts? A lot of people add nuts at this point. They put like pecans or raisins even. I'm just curious, guys. Put it in the comments what you guys do in yours, or what you would like to do in yours. I mean, even if you've never made them before. I want to try to get this out as close to the edges as I can, because we're going to roll it this way. So it's all going to be a big old, like a what do you call those things? It's almost like a log roll. So that's what's going to look like. And I want to use all of this because waste not, want not. And if I'm going to die happy. Ha! It's a lot of sugar. It's going to be worth it. Okay. When do you guys eat cinnamon rolls? Do you wait for the holidays for cinnamon rolls, or do you just, are you like me where I could just eat a cinnamon roll because it just, yay, it's Monday, or every day that ends with Y, I can do that. Or do you guys have like, is it like a seasonal thing for you? Let me know in the comments. All right, so we're gonna start here at this end, and we're just gonna pick it up, and we're just gonna roll it over. We're gonna roll it towards the camera. And try to keep it as tight as you can get it without pulling it or ripping it or poking a hole in it. And we're just going to keep rolling. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull this back here just a little bit. I'm going to try to get it over on that seam. Okay. Alrighty. Do you guys like thick slices or thin slices? I like them pretty thick so they can rise and get taller. I usually just take a knife like this, and I snip the ends off because there's hardly anything in the ends. All right, well, I'm gonna put this knife down. Let me set it over here, and I'm gonna grab my dough cutter because that's actually what I use to cut these. And I need to get my pan. So let me get my pan. And what I want to do is spray the pan so that way they don't stick to the sides. Spray the bottom. This is a 9x13 pan. And I'm going to cut these, and I'm going to place them in the pan here, like so. And again, do you guys like nuts in yours, or raisins, or anything like that? I tend to like, I like cinnamon rolls that are just loaded with cinnamon, honestly. Let me know in the comments what you like. Sorry, I don't want to cut my finger. Move this over here. I like my cinnamon rolls drenched in butter, loaded with cinnamon. What do you put on the top of your cinnamon rolls? Do you put chocolate, or do you put nothing? I mean, you know, or do you just like the frosting that comes on them? This one, I'm gonna try to make, here, let me undo this one really quick. I'm gonna see if I can make these together to make them fatter. I'm just gonna roll this one up. There we go. Put this one here. All right, so I want to try to get them in the pan, but I want them to touch, but I want them to stay off of the sides this way. And we're going to cover them once more and let them rise for about another 10 minutes. All right, while I'm finishing cleaning up my table, I'm going to set these over here on the stove so they can rise for their final 10 minutes. I'm going to brush this down. I'm going to get my stand mixer and we're going to make the icing. All right, to my stand mixer, I'm going to add 1, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teaspoons of butter. Let me move this out of the way. 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese softened. So I'll go ahead and open this. Get it in there. Get in there. Okay. Let's see if I can get this off. I'm going to try to use as much as I can. Okay. Go ahead and get rid of this. And then 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. So I've got, or confectioner's sugar, or baker's sugar, or so many ways you can say that. So let's see. We got 1-ish. All right. 1. Wow. I missed it. I totally missed it. And then 1/2 cup. So I'm just going to do half of this cup. Should be fine. All right. I'm going to lower the whisk and I'm going to turn this on probably like a medium setting and let that just incorporate. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to grab some vanilla. I'm going to put a couple teaspoons of vanilla in there. Now we're going to turn this up on high. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. And we're going to raise it up. Look at that. Wow. I'm going to push this off here. Oh, it smells so good. And you can see it's good stuff. I can smell it from here. It's amazing. We need to invent smell-o-vision so you guys can smell this stuff. All right, guys, I'm going to take this off. Here they are. We're going to go ahead and put these in the oven. And we're going to time it for 20 minutes. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but I wanted to let you know. I set the oven temperature to 350, so we're going to bake at 350 for 20 minutes. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, these are, look at that gooiness. Okay, now we're going to put this over here on the table. Well, I'm going to grab some butter. I'm going to come butter them. And we butter them not only for the look of it, but the butter enhances the flavor. So let me finish buttering these up. Don't butter me up. Yes, I will. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to butter these up, and then we'll come back as they cool down, and then we'll frost them. And now the icing. So if you like this recipe, please don't forget to like, share, comment, follow, and we will put the recipe, in the description. We'll be back for a taste test very soon. All right, let's go ahead and put one on a plate here. Yeah, these are very, very gooey. And one more. They smell amazing. They look amazing. They smell amazing. Just ooey gooey goodness. Look at this. I'm gonna go in for the first bite. It's tender. It's got ooey gooey goodness here. Let me take a bite here. Oh, it's still hot. Yeah, it's got good flavor. Mmm. Epic. Look at all the cinnamon inside. It's soft. It's moist. It's loaded with cinnamon, loaded with yummy goodness. This is what the F we're eating now. Oh yeah, very good. Very, very good. This is one for the books. Look at all this goodness. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, follow, and we'll put the recipe in the description. And if you like this recipe and you want to see other recipes, please check out our other recipes on our channel. We'll be grilling, baking, cooking, and sharing it with everybody. Oh, and air frying. That's a major. Air frying and smoking. So if you like what you see and you want to follow, please don't hesitate to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. So good.